found a good place to park, and now we are just walking down this old logging road. The road itself is closed to vehicles, so it's not really maintained, and we don't want to get stuck back here because we have no cell phone signal and we can't call for help. So we're gonna hike back in here a good ways, see if we can find what looks like a good place to camp, and then we'll come back to the truck if we find such a place, and Alright, well, we found a good spot, what we think is going to be a good spot. So we are heading back to the truck to get our stuff. We're going to haul all back out here. We might actually try to drive in a little bit further. The road looks pretty decent for most of the way. So I'll catch up with you guys when we get back to the spot again while we're here, okay? Alright, so here is the area that we've chosen to make our campground for the night. A little bit off the road over there where we came in. Of course, that road is old and unused, but it's already kind of clear. The guys are currently right now trekking off in that direction to go see if there's any other clear areas deeper in. But we had some decent deadfall around here. It's kind of clear. So we're thinking this might be a good spot. So me and Ken are taking a rest. We just lugged in 40 pounds of gear. And we'll get some water, take a rest. Hey Jake, what you doing, Tiger?
Currently eating one of my breakfast burritos.
But it's like noontime. Does that make it a lunch burrito?
I bought this at 7 and didn't eat it until now. As you can tell, I'm chewing a little funny. I went to the dentist. Mild Bacante. And got a cavity filled, and now the side of my jaw hurts really bad. I can't open my mouth before.
Nice. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, we're just all working on our shelters for the night. And it's one thing for a guy to come out solo and build his shelter, but for 4 guys and a son, it requires a lot of materials. So we've all got to go out a little farther and find more stuff. So we're slowly starting to collect some decent dry pine and stuff for firewood as we go around the woods, looking for other stuff that we can use for our shelters. Sometimes we bring back stuff we can use for bedding. I'm doing the same thing. Me and Ken are going to have this as our bed right here. I'm just going to put a tarp across the top of it, lean-to tarp, and we'll call that good. I think we're going to be doing a couple of same thing over here. Lean-to, right? Just like a lean-to tarp. Yeah. And Jake, you still going to do the bed thing up off the ground?
I don't know yet. I might kind of steal y'all's idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to save calories. Josh is over there chopping on some deadfall. Hey Joshua.
Hey.
A little wide angle shot here of the campground. And we'll check back in with you a little bit later when we get a little more work done. Look at Ken taking the bull by the horns. I think that's the long way. Hey, so let's turn it. Let's do the long way across this way. I've seen it before on other bushcrafting videos. About to go around the tree here, but before I do that, I just want to fold it over. Oh. Fold it over, put a little loop in itself. And then as I run this rope around here, around the tree, oh, did I leave myself enough slack? Barely. And gives me a hinge point to really cinch it up tight. So I got a nice taut line. Yeah, it's this is just in case you're wondering, this is cheap polypropylene line from the dollar store. Cost $1 for 50 feet, and it gets the job done. Not something that you want to use for a semi-permanent long-term shelter, but for overnighter like this, this is going to work just fine. You gonna give him a hand, Ken?
You want to hold this one up for me?
Thanks, bud. I wish I had a V cut up today.
Yeah, nice little Y stick would have been nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. You could drop that.
Go find one with a natural Y in it. That stuff he's cutting up over there off of that deadfall, it's still very solid. It's not rotten yet. You might be able to... Heck, man. I don't know how tall you're trying to get it. This is pretty solid. Could use that V right there.
Yeah.
They were next 3 neighbors. Funny.
Josh, that looks more like the beginnings of a fire.
Just wait. Hopefully it works out. I'm trying something new.
Uh-huh. I might... So Josh has made a bed. He's made a cot. He's gonna get him a couple hots on this cot. That is sketchy, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for you, bro. I just don't want to miss the test drive. Oh.
It'll take a little bit.
I'm filming. I am rolling right now. Oh, come on, man. Yeah.
I think he's coming loose.
Yeah. Hey.
It's
What?
coming loose though. I got to redo this.
Okay, so we are getting there. All right, some of us are done, some of us are not, but it won't be much longer now. It's only a little after 12 noon, so we have plenty of time. So me and Ken have the basic lean-to tarp going on. Got our packs tucked in back there. Got a nice bed made out of little saplings up on top of logs. So we're several inches off the ground if we do get rain. Now, the tale of the day. What we have here
My house is bleeding on me.
is a failure to desapify.
Yeah.
So,
Getting random drops of sap. I'm going to wake up stuck in myself and everything around me.
so the branches that he cut are leaking sap because they are full of it.
There's one
And-
about to drop right there. That's gross.
It's too dark.
So my patch.
Yeah, so had a whole bunch of sap coming out right here. So he's patched it with a ramen noodle wrapper. It's a
You
paracord.
can see it on the tarp right there.
So you can see that's the sap running down the tarp.
Hey,
It's a good looking shelter though, nonetheless.
looks good.
Even though you're going to wake up stuck to the ground.
So I might be able to get out.
Jake's got a similar thing going on here.
Yeah. I don't know how to
He's
do
just
original.
he's just not done yet.
All right, take 2. Now that I put Jake's button on my tarp,
Yeah.
hopefully it'll stay together when I lay on it.
Makes sense. I get it. You could also do that with like a rock. I guess a dirt softer. A fan.
I don't know. Let me try it.
Do it. Give it your best shot. Yeah. That's not too shabby. It appears your head may be lower than your feet.
That's all right.
You're gonna wake
I'll
up.
figure it out later.
If you wake up, you'll have a splitting headache.
I'll figure it out. Okay, so this is why we come out here. I obviously need to find a better tarp. Obviously, they used a very cheap material, the one that I bought, which I should have known because it was cheap when I bought it.
Looking good, boys. Josh, you are getting there, I think.
And yeah, tarp breaking, not part of the plan.
His is going to be like Fort Potato Chip.
God, don't make me freaking squeal like that.
You got the sap trap.
Got the stab
This is
trap.
the,
Got the hot spot here.
spot.
Mine's the tab too small. Probably mine is tab too small.
Yeah.
Guy in a little tent.
So So Jake's shelter's about a foot shorter than he is. So if it rains, he's either gonna have a wet head or wet feet.
Toes and a wet forehead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's February 17th. I don't know if you can see the sweat coming off my brow and my face. It is, what, 80 degrees out here? Welcome to winter camping in Florida. What's up right here?
Okay. You can see the gold drops on my blue blanket over there.
I guess I'm going to show the...
Wow, great. That's what my tent's made of. I made a fortress of gasoline.
Pretty much.
Just don't drop it near my tent.
It's good old pine set.
And all for realsies.
That's a good fire starter right there, boys. I do not think we will have a problem getting fire started tonight.
Nope.
Okay. Alright, so Josh is finally done with the shelter. It just so happens that his shelter faces west. And it's looking right at the sun.
Knees have been getting rained on the whole day. Wicked hot shower.
And he's got a reflective foil tarp catching the heat for him to make sure that he doesn't suffer from hypothermia.
It's the hot pocket.
Hot pocket! Okay, real quick, so we have basically a tripod with one long ridge pole, making stakes out of the sticks in the woods to pin it down on both sides. And over here, Jake's done something similar. He's used a living tree and a bungee cord. So ingenious. And then he's applied a button to his tarpaulin, shoved a little dirt in there, tied the paracord around it, and gave him a place to tie onto it. And